Welcome back to the channel. My name is Rochelle and I am the Brampton Gardener. So today we are going to be discussing a question that's kind of going around YouTube right now, the why do I garden or why I love my garden challenge. So I was in a live chat, gosh, I can't remember, it was yesterday or the day before. The days are all rolling together. And Broke Farmer76 put out this challenge to everyone to do a YouTube video and tag him in it, which I will do, and answer the question, like why I love my garden. And another YouTuber last week had asked the question, why do you garden? And I think, the questions go hand in hand. And so I've been mulling it over and, listening to other people's answers. And, a lot of times I'll listen to it and a lot of it resonates, right? Like, it's like, oh yeah, I like that. And I like that aspect and this aspect. And, a lot of people are like, oh, well, I do it as like a stress reliever. And it's like, it serves that for me as well. But I discovered yoga several years ago to help lower my blood pressure and to deal with stress that I was going through at the time. So it's like, okay, well, I didn't really start my garden, getting it bigger for that reason. And some of my creative outlet as well a few years ago is I really got into sewing. So I've always liked to be creative and I've always been looking for outlets for my creativity because I don't have any like actual skills. like I can't play music, I don't sing, I can't paint, I can't draw, but I'm always looking to try and create something, and that sense of satisfaction and surprise. So I would say for me with the garden, it's that. It's the growing something from seed and the anticipation when you see it sprout and you get so excited and you're like, come here, quick, 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 and everyone comes in the room and you're like, look. They're like, what am I looking at? And it's like this little tiny seed thing sticking up, and my daughter's like, yeah, Mom, that's great. But it sends joy, especially in those cooler winter months, January, February, March, and I'm looking out at 2 feet of snow, and it's like can be like -20 outside, and you just see these green growing, and it's the anticipation of the beauty of what it will become. It's kind of like when you look at your kid and you're raising your child, and you think about how their life and what it's going to be. It's something like that. It's very, very satisfying to eat a vegetable or a tomato or pick a flower or make an arrangement from something that you've grown from seed. It just feels like a great sense of accomplishment. For some reason, at least for me. and the beauty of it, like, I just absolutely love coming and sitting in the garden. That's why I decided to film here today, and hearing the birds outside, being a part of nature in my tiny little sliver of land that I have been given, and just to make it as enjoyable and as beautiful as I can. And I've been here almost 18 years, and I've gardened every year. Like, I've planted it started out with just some petunias. We put in a few small beds and filled them full of some shrubs and some hostas, and the rest was a handful of petunias here and there. And then every year it's just kind of gotten a little bit bigger and bigger, and I've started growing more tomatoes. But prior to last year, it was mainly just like tomatoes, herbs, some peppers. Occasionally I'll try a few different things. And then last year happened, and for a number of years we had talked about enlarging the garden, widening it, and just kind of making a pathway down the middle. We just never had time. Our busy time of work, I work with my husband, we do construction. Our busiest time the last 5 years has been from April to June, and it's like we're working some days 7 days a week and slogging it out, and you get home and it's like I could barely maintain what I was actually growing already, all the tomatoes and everything that I'd started. So last year we were off. We had no work, absolutely nothing to do for 3 months. So you know it was it really caused me to stop and reflect and think about, okay, well, what's important, and what can we do with this time? What can instead of just sitting and binging on Netflix or watching YouTube, which, don't get me wrong, I watch plenty of gardening YouTube. It got me to where I was today and to get the garden the way it's been. I learned so much from all my wonderful fellow YouTubers out there. Thank you so much for the time and dedication you put into the videos, because it takes a lot more work than I ever imagined with the editing and getting the content and just, just putting it out there. Like some days, it just it takes a lot of work. So yeah, so last year we were off and we decided to do something with our time. So we cut the beds out, we made them a lot bigger, and I started a lot more things from seed that we could get a hold of. So there was not a lot available at the time. The stores here were all shut down, and my husband grabbed a bunch of seed packets from the dollar store. It was the only place that had a bunch of seeds. So we grew a ton of annuals last year over in this spot here. You can see some of them are coming back. So I guess they're not technically annuals. A few, I thought they were all annuals, but you can see the dianthus is coming back, and then all the sweet william I had back there I started from seeds. The snapdragons I started from seed, and last year, and then we had some zinnias, asters, evening primrose, baby's breath, a bunch of that stuff, all from the dollar store. And it always seeded it, I planted it here, and it did really well. And we needed to fill in these beds because we really couldn't get a lot of plants available at the stores because nothing was open. Even the greenhouses weren't open last year. And I was like, oh my goodness. Like, I'd grown stuff from seed, but normally it was just, a handful of things. And I just was like, oh, this is amazing. Like it was just great. I loved having all of the cut flowers that I could make arrangements with. And then of course I started getting addicted watching people and their cut flower farms. So I was watching You Can't Eat the Grass and Flower Hill Farm and Garden Answer, and they were all growing these amazing, chunks of land with full of just absolutely beautiful flowers, and the snapdragons and the zinnias, and it just made me smile every time I saw them. And I'm always trying to find something for my daughter to enjoy. For some reason she decides to hate everything I enjoy doing. She doesn't like reading, she doesn't like cooking, she doesn't like gardening, but she actually really enjoys arranging flowers. So that was a fun thing we had last year to do. So I decided to plant a lot more cut flowers this year and a lot more filler, so that we can get a lot more bouquets going and spend more time together and see that side of her creative process. Now my daughter is excellent she's really into drawing and painting, and she has that creative side as well, but she actually has talent in that regard to get for the painting and the drawing. And so it was just really nice for us to connect with the flowers, and I love having cut flowers in the house every week. It's absolutely beautiful, and it just brings a smile to your face, especially in a time like last year where there was not much else to do, not a lot to give you something to smile about. And so then I did end up growing a lot more vegetables as well. My husband picked up some seeds last year. He went to Home Depot to get some stuff for work, and he saw a seed rack, and so we grew quite a few beans and radishes and all kinds of stuff last year. And I realized how much I enjoy just being able to come outside, especially when it was like, I gotta go to the store, you gotta line up, you gotta put a mask. It's like, oh, what are we gonna have for dinner? I'm like, I don't know, let's go see. You can go out in the back. So I come out here and I could grab some lettuce, and I could grab beans and the radish seed pods, because I cannot grow radish apparently. I could only grow radish seeds. We had the cucamelons, I had tomatoes. Like, I could always just come out and grab something to make a quick side dish or a salad or something. And I really, really enjoyed that. And so this year, I started so many more seeds, like crazy amount of seeds. So if you don't know how many seeds I've started, go back and watch the videos. But most of the seeds I got were from seed swaps. So I didn't pay for them, aside from the stamp. And I got such an incredible variety of seeds. And I think the main reason that my biggest joy this year has been the surprise, because I did these seed swaps, and at first I didn't know if what the germination rate was going to be, and I don't know what they're going to look like. So I got a bunch of poppy seeds, and here, let me show you. So I'll come up here on the hill. We're gonna go up on the hill. I'll show you. So these ones here, they said red and black. So I was like, okay, that's not very specific. I don't know what they're gonna be. Are they gonna be, I was thinking more just like the traditional memorial poppy. And then instead I got these guys. So they're a little worse for wear for the rain, but I was like, oh my God. I mean, that's amazing. So that has been super exciting for me, is the surprise of what's coming back. I didn't know if the dianthus were going to come back. I didn't know how well the climbing petunias that I collected the seeds from, it's a hybrid. Actually didn't expect them to germinate. They did. Then I was like, well, who knows what they'll look like? They could be anything. They looked exactly like they were supposed to. So that was a happy surprise. And then these poppies down here, some of them said amazing gray, and then some of them said pink and white. And I had no idea what pink and white meant. Sorry, I'm trying to step in here. I don't have any shoes on. I should put my shoes on. And then I got these sweet, beautiful little... And then look at this one. I'm so excited. Should I dare? Should I dare take the thing off? How close are we to opening? Oh yeah, I can do it. Hello, beautiful. Hello. Oh, isn't that sweet? Look at that. How cute is that? That's the first one of that type to bloom. I had no idea what to expect. Well, it looks like I'm lying, because this one here, we have a seed pod already on that, but it had already bloomed and fallen off before I got a chance to see it, because we've had rain on and off all week long. But because of the inspiration from everyone else on YouTube, trying to step out of here without squishing anything, I ended up growing things I've never grown before. So many things I've never grown before. Like these blue forget-me-nots and this calendula. And honestly, normally I kind of hate this color. I am not a big fan. Like, I don't like marigolds. I don't know. But I have this whole little patch over here. So I got some lilies. I've got the calendula. I've got these nasturtiums going nuts. And somehow it all works. And this beautiful straw flower, it's kind of tying it in. Can you hear that? That's why it's called straw flower. Like, it's... Oh, you can't even see it. I'm sorry. That's why it's called straw flower. Like, feels like straw. It's so bizarre. But yeah, these are the ones I collected seed from. And they're growing. And they're doing amazing. And I think that's part of it. Like, you just never know. You never know how things are gonna go. You never know if it's gonna work out. Are the seeds gonna sprout? Is it gonna grow? Is something gonna eat it? Is it actually gonna bloom? How big is it gonna get? It's exciting. It's a guessing game. Like this thing here, something is eating it, something terrible. I'm assuming it's the slugs at this point. But this is my mammoth sunflower. And then these down here, I believe, are my ruby eclipse. I'm really hoping they're the ruby eclipse. I forgot to label those. But yeah, like I got seeds from seed swaps. Some of them were labeled, some of them just said sunflower mix, planted them. And it's really exciting to see things as they open. Some things don't work out as you'd hoped. Here's the bouquet, the basket that fell. Like, it's doing okay. It was on the fence until like yesterday, and then that one was huge here, so I swapped it thinking maybe we'd get, I don't know, more sun or be happier here. I don't know. All of these tomatoes here, absolutely incredible. Happy as can be. All of these seeds were from seed swaps, except for this one here. I collected them from my own seeds. The chocolate cherry. The rest were all from swaps. And they all germinated. They're doing amazing. Same with peppers. A lot of these peppers I got from swaps. And the nasturtiums were from a swap. These were actually seeds I bought. But yeah, I think it's just the excitement, the thrill of not knowing, the time, the effort, the anticipation, the surprise, the joy, the beauty. It's absolutely stunning. Just love coming out, sitting in the garden, sit up on the hill, look down at everything. I don't know if there's any one reason why I garden. I do because I like it. I guess it's like asking someone, why do you sing, or why do you play the piano, or why do you paint? Because I love it. Thanks for watching.